Hello and welcome back. This is Grillenheimer doing a few different things for a change. From 1982, here is Namco Midway, now owned by, I forgot what they're called now. Super Pac Man. This is from the Pac Man collection on the Xbox 360. It's all I've got. And you are going to see, okay, the game's already started. I was considered a pretty good Super Pac Man player, and there is a way to play this game and there's a way to not play this game. You do not want to try to play this like regular Pac Man. You will die. Now, the best thing to do is, so you're not eating dots, you are eating things, you're eating food. It's like it's all based on the stuff that used to show up in the middle of the boards for Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man, well, Miss Pac-Man, it walked around the board, and all the fruits and things. Well, this board, in this game, the board is filled with it. And that is your primary focus. Your primary focus are not eating the ghosts. Eat them if they get in your way, but you were not trying to eat the ghosts. If you want a good score, you want to go from stage to stage to stage to stage. And as you see here, over the years, and especially long time ago, when I was around 10, 11, when this game came out, if I had a machine, I had this down pat. Super Pac-Man was the first Pac-Man game that actually incorporated a button. And it was a speed button, and you can only use the speed button when you are Super Pac-Man. So that's why you see him I'm like on stage 6 already. And we're only 2 minutes in. So this is the key to playing Super Pac-Man, is trying to stay Super Pac-Man as long as you can. You have two Super Pac pellets to turn you into it. The normal power pellets give you a little more time to stay Super Pac-Man. So, and you will see here that I have created there we got the bonus. And it's not completely random. I remember one time playing the game on a machine, and I was able to just almost get the bonus every single time. Of course, that was an arcade joystick and an arcade machine, which has a much better feel than a home hand controller for a home console, which is not the same. When you come across arcade enthusiasts from the 80s like myself, you will understand why we want and like to have an actual arcade stick to be able to play these arcade games. It helps with the control. Having a D-pad or an analog pad just don't work. And you may hear underneath this audio me grunting and complaining. It's not going left. He's not going up. He's not going when I want him to, because the feel is different. So I'm not, when I had a good run on the actual arcade machine, I could make it like stage 16 or 18 sometimes. You will not see me get past stage 14. These are 3 games that I recorded here for this 26 minutes run of Super Pac Man. I don't know why the system actually updated and it took away my high score. So my high score was gone. I'm actually having to create one. And the bonus stages are really fun because you stay Super Pac Man the whole time. Have I been saying Mr. Pac-Man this whole time? Super. You stay super during the whole bonus levels. Yeah, I was having a hard time going left right there. and I'm not going to talk through this whole thing, but you will see that and that's another thing about Super Pac Man. By the time they got to this point, I can't remember if this game was created by the original creators of Pac-Man, because way back then there were so many other companies that were doing Pac-Man knockoffs, and it was a big issue in Valley Midway, or that would soon become Namco, or whoever they were, ended up having to take a company or a certain companies to court because of the issues. And I got to see some actual really neat original Pac-Man and some Miss Pac-Man knockoffs back in the day. And Super Pac Man, I don't think originally was, but it's a really fun game. It's an unusual Pac-Man game. It's almost different from all the rest because it adds so much more gameplay. As you see, I'm actually now, normally the closest key would open the first door to the room on the left. See, it just opened above that left super pellet. And by the time you get to this stage, you're having to search for the key that opens the doors to be able to get to the super pellets, because that's what you want. Of course, just like in regular Pac-Man, with the ghosts not staying blue for as long, and sometimes not turning blue at all, the super pellets also start not lasting as long as they could as well, the deeper into the game you go. It's a very fun Pac-Man game, and I have this version on the 360. I also have another version in it's right here, in a plug-and-play TV games joystick. And it's not 100% accurate emulated. This one pretty much is. But it's just hard to play with with a controller. And I'd never got a 360 joystick. The only one joystick that I came close was for airplane games. That actually came with a game, and I forgot what dogfighting game it was. But it doesn't make any of these old Pac-Man games play any easier either. It actually makes it even harder. If you hear me on my computer, I am working. I apologize as I record this. That was the end of the first game. My average on here for a game is about 8 to 9 minutes. And I don't think you see, I think I cut out at the very end before the name screen pops up on the last game. Ooh, I got the bonus right there on the very first level. But yeah, and that's the thing, is you want to try to time that where you can get that bonus each time, which is not easy to do. Like I said, there was a few times on the old machines where I had it down to a science. I could almost get it, especially on the bonus levels. And it just gives you, it is really big points. And that's where a major part of your score can come from. Yeah, it's not
joystick
wanting to go where I want it to go again. And what I was trying to say earlier before I got sidetracked myself is by the time they got to this game, the intermissions are just hilarious. They were really having fun with it. And I can't remember if this was during the time the cartoon came out way back when, which was an awesome cartoon. It had nothing on the newer one that came out about 3 or 4 years ago, which was, okay. My kids loved it. But the original hand-drawn cartoon, yes, Pac-Man would turn into Super Pac-Man, or Super Pac-Man was actually a totally different character. I can't remember which. But it was such a fun show. I don't remember the overall story arc. There was some sort of villain who was over the ghosts, and they were after his pellets, his Pac-Man pellets, or power pellets, whatever they called them. If you can, and originally when the 360 was brand new and we had the movies and TV stuff, they actually had where you could buy some of the Pac-Man episodes of the original show, and I had actually bought 2 episodes instead of a whole season, just to be able to see it again and show it to when my kids were, my oldest kid was a toddler. Let you know how long ago that was.
In there.
I'm going to let this go for a bit and we will return.
Did better last time.
You will hear me grunt and moan and complain from time to time. It's kind of funny, but I never curse. I'm trying to be family friendly, and as a general rule, I normally do not curse. But that's all we got to say about that. Enjoy.
Yes. This controller. Oh. This is pathetic. Reduced to searching for keys. Better. Smart. Oh. It's open. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna get to it. I'm dead. Oh, yeah. Mm. Oh, cried. Oh, no. Huh?
That was the end of game 2. Up is game 3 and the last game for the video. But yeah, you've probably now noticed the route I normally take, and it's the best way to try to stay Super Pac Man as long as you can. And you know, I mean, the ghosts are basically not there unless you are small like regular Pac Man. Then you're in trouble, and he goes so slow. So that's why it's so important to try to stay super, because it's super good. And eating the power pellets while you're super stays you super a little longer. But just a fun game. When it came out when I was a kid, oh gosh, whenever a Super Pac Man machine I came across, I just missed the double donuts. I had to play it. It was a quarter cruncher. It was one of the better ones, and I could actually play for a while on it once you got used to knowing what to do. Because you don't play it like Pac-Man. If you play it like Pac-Man, like I said, you will die. So you have to be Super Pac-Man to really complete the stages, to really get high scores, and trying to stay super as long as you can. That is the goal of this game, to progressing deep into the game, to getting a high score. Of course, there is no winning unless you're competing against somebody else or the current high score on the machine. And it's my favorite Pac-Man game. It really is. It is so underrated. And let me see here. I sold my PlayStation 1, which I wish I hadn't. But in the NAMCO discs, I think Super Pac Man was on the A. I think it was on the second volume. And then I didn't see anything come from it. And I was not a big Sony fan. So I did have a PlayStation 1. I ended up getting an original Xbox. No, I ended up getting a Dreamcast instead of the PlayStation 2. And then an Xbox instead of the PlayStation 2 or 3. And then it was the next time I ever saw Super Pac Man again is with this Namco plug and play TV games arcade controller thingy that has Miss Pac Man on it. And it came with Pole Position, Galaga, Xevious, Mappy, Miss Pac Man, and Super Pac Man. N is in mono, of all things. So you're actually missing a sound channel, which stinks. So Mappy sounds a little off. But they all are very emulated very well. They're not 100% emulation, but they are very, very close, and they are still very, very fun. I can't remember. I don't think you can change the settings on the controller game here from Jack specific or not. I think it's just you plug it in and you play. That was the point. So they are the original arcade settings for that, and these used to run around $15 to $20. They have a lot more games on them now than they used to, and when I picked that one up. And then the next time I saw Super Pac Man since that controller was this compilation that came out on the 360 and the PS3. So Super Pac Man has not had a lot of attention, and it's an extremely fun game. It is very addicting. So I hope you've enjoyed this video of being able to see some gameplay. And I'm not great at the game, but I consider myself a seasoned player of it. I mean, I'm sure there's some better people at the game than myself, but you do see a pattern that I really stick with, that is counterclockwise, that just works. And once I get to about a certain level, I don't know why, I have a brain fart when it comes to trying to remember which key to open the middle doors to be able to get to the super power pellets. But that's all I've got. I'll close it out and let y'all watch the rest of it in peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next time, and have a blessed day. Uh-oh. Go down. Crap. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Crap. Down to eating every single key. It's like I can't crack stage 14. A little different. Okay. Uh-oh. No. Oh, it wouldn't go up. Oh. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. I made it. Oh my goodness. He went exactly where I wanted to go.